Hey everyone, this is Erin Ashley Simon.
This is Brandon Killabh.
I'm Chadwick Bodman.
No, yo, fam.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
flex your shoulders. They don't even move when you do that. Just let them shits lay where they lay.
Chill. Don't do that.
But welcome to another episode of Grassroots Podcast. I would love to let everyone know that we hit our 1 year mark.
Yes, sir.
What? That's
Fire.
so crazy. I mean, we're a little past that, but still, we hit our 1 year mark, which is it's big for us. We've made so many strides. We've hit so many milestones. And looking back to when Brandon and I first conceptualized this concept and to see where it is now, it's crazy.
It's pretty dope.
Like to see all the things that we did. We went viral. We've interviewed some dope artists. We drove all the way to Detroit for this podcast. Like, that's crazy.
Yo, I'll die for this shit. I'm letting y'all know in the room right now. I'll die for this shit.
That's good.
Squad.
Good to know. Good to know.
Bleed right out on the keyboard. You know what I mean?
Good. One of us will.
Nah, I'm lying.
I'll live on to tell a story.
Yeah. You shady.
But anyway, for this episode, we wanted to be a special episode. We're going to give our top 5 moments, top 5 podcast moments, and provide as much behind the scenes info when it comes to these different episodes. Especially some of them you guys said that you love, and there's some that we love that you guys may not realize. And so we just wanted to talk about our journey, talk about the experience, talk about the crazy things that we've gone through and the struggles and pains. Because trust me, there's been plenty of struggles and pains when it comes to this podcast. But because, you guys have been so great as supporters, and we appreciate every single one of you that plays our video and plays our podcast. You are not forgotten, and we appreciate everyone that's in our group chat. And so, with the 1 year mark, we just want to add a little Flavor Flav. We say, a little Flavor Flav.
That's the mental stuff right there.
Word.
Mental fresh maker.
Oh my gosh. It's stupid. So let's get into it. No specific order, but let's just go. Number 1. What is number 1? Not number 1 overall, but number 1 on our list.
I think the first one would be the Royce shit. That's when I knew shit was real. Like, we all literally, for those that don't know how that came to fruition, is we literally was in the studio with Felicia Temple. Shout out to Felicia.
Yep, shout out to
Episode
her.
number 1.
And we were trying to figure it out because obviously we're entrepreneurs here, and if you know how that's like, we're broke. So we're sitting here, and I'm having this conversation with Royce back and forth for the longest time. I'm like, yo, Royce, man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it out there, man. Ticket prices is kind of steep now, dog. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah, remember we were gonna fly out.
We were gonna fly out.
Yeah, but them tickets look mad
And
crazy
then,
out there.
And then Royce said, well, I want you guys to come out here, because the initial thought process behind it was, after the fact, was like, all right, we'll just wait for you to come out here, and we'll catch up or whatever. He said, no, y'all got to come out here. You have to figure it out. So we brainstormed in the studio that day, and Regular Naz and Wilson, a whole bunch of, we said, yo, we're going to drive. So we all looked around the room and was like, all right, fuck it, we're going to drive. I'm with the shits. Literally that next week, we dead ass hit the road.
You guys judged me a lot, too, off my playlist.
Yeah, hold on. I wasn't even
a lot of
bringing that up.
judgment off of that playlist.
Your playlist would kill people. Like, your playlist, fam, was kind of crazy.
It was a little too old school.
Yeah, like, you gotta play for those that take road trips and you travel. You gotta make a travel playlist where you in your car bag where you could just chill.
But if you're driving,
your playlist would have made
you control the radio.
Nah, fam, don't control the radio when you drive. Your playlist would have made us end up in the divider. Like, it was bad. I was falling asleep. Of course, when I grabbed the aux, pause, we was lit. But so we get there in Detroit, and of course, in typical fashion.
Wait, no. You need to back it up for when we were in Pennsylvania. Listen, when we were in Pennsylvania, we stopped at one of those side stores, the rest stop area. We go in to get food. We go in to get drinks. Recharge and everything. Now, mind you, this is in like the boondocks of Pennsylvania. It's like setting up for like the scene of The Purge or something like that.
Yeah.
Now we're there, and we obviously, when there's more than one black person in a store, people are gonna look.
Yeah.
And people were looking, and we definitely look like outsiders. No one said anything to us. Getting food, getting drinks, getting everything. And of course, I think it was Nas that maybe pointed it out, like, yo, they looking at us.
Nah, the lady at the register said something to me.
No, she said something to you, but I was with Naz because I didn't want to be by myself.
She was like, "Where y'all from?" I said, "Oh shit." I said, "From Jersey." "Oh, I can tell y'all not from around here." I said, "Why does your accent sound like that? We're in Philly. Like, why do you
Terrible accent.
I said, "Why do you sound this way? You're not even supposed to sound like that in Philly, my nigga. Like, this is crazy." So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I thought for sure they were gonna kill us at the gas station.
Well, it was that guy. There was a guy who was like throwing out garbage from the restaurant across, and he was like, "Oh, y'all." He's like, "I can tell you guys aren't from here." We're like,
Yeah.
"Why?" And I think we basically hinted at because we're black, and he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And at that moment,
I didn't want to say anything, but since you brought it up,
Yeah.
but then like I think he insinuated. Did he say something about guns or insinuated something about the people around there?
He just said be wary about the surroundings, and he said, you make sure y'all be safe. And I felt like it was one of those hint, wink, wink type of things.
Like there's some racist ass motherfuckers. I could feel it. It was tense.
yeah,
You could cut the tension.
hold on, is that
in the
one
air.
with the Wendy's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was you know how we were at the stop area was like the gas area, and then across the street was that restaurant, and the garbage was in between. And he was throwing it out, and he said it. And that's when we were like, dang, we're about to die for this podcast.
Yeah, it was pretty
Well, I wasn't going out like that. I was going out like Bokeem Woodbine and gang related. I ain't going out like no sucker.
Yeah, man. But the funny thing is when we got to Detroit, it was really dope. That was probably like one of the dopest experiences ever because
I came across a crackhead.
there was a lot. There was a lot going on there.
I was thinking about the scented candles that Royce had.
Yeah. So
gosh,
yeah,
yeah.
let's get down to the actual recording. So obviously, and we may release some of the footage that we have. I think it's like short clips or whatever.
Well, we could probably show it in this.
Yeah, we can show
Might
it
as
in
well.
this. But there was a part in the a lot of you guys complained about the audio, and we've talked about this before, but y'all just don't understand the amount of hours. We damn near stayed there a whole extra day.
Word.
With his engineer Brian as
No sleep.
as well as him, just trying to make sure that the audio would be right because of those crackling candles that he had, which was who knew that was like a thing. But it worked out. It worked out a lot. Again, even still going back and forth with Shady with the release of that in the
That clip,
the clip or
song.
whatever. And even Royce, shout out to Royce. Like he fought for us tooth and nail from the beginning of that whole shit.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
And he canceled a recording session for us to re-record again.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
I deadass felt like a rapper. We were in the booth. Mic hanging from the ceiling. I had to send my part. I was like, yo, so how did you feel when you stopped drinking liquor?
Did you squint your eyes like
Yes,
that?
I did. I did.
Yes,
I did.
Aaron
We even
definitely
have
was
a
in that
photo of
booth.
me,
Yeah.
like you were like chilling. I was like cheesing, like, oh my God, I'm in the booth.
Yeah.
What?
I'm in the booth.
Y'all
But
should have
it
seen
was-
Erin in that fucking booth. That was hilarious. Like she dead ass was cheesing like that. She was like, "I'm recording." I said, "I know, Erin."
But
I
it's
can
dope.
see- I
No,
can
but
see
the
you in
whole
booth.
but the whole place was dope because we found out that you could literally record in every single room in that
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
including the bathroom.
Yeah, Royce's
You can literally
studio is
take a
retarded.
shit and record a line or a verse.
or a dump if you want.
I mean,
if you're into that
Sound
kind
effects?
of thing. Word.
If that's the way you giving it
Yeah,
up.
if that's how you give it up. Like you can record some wild shit in there. But we trooped it, yo. We really
Yeah.
trooped it. That was a really, really I'm happy I took that moment with you guys, man.
Yeah, I got in
ain't gonna
trouble,
lie,
right?
man.
I wandered off.
That right
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
I did wander
You
off.
wander off a little bit.
I think I stopped at a Walgreens to get. Oh, I stopped at Walgreens to get energy drinks.
Yeah.
Because so what people don't realize is that we stayed longer than expected. We were trying to drive home sooner, but we stayed until like nighttime, and we couldn't afford staying another night.
Yeah.
Not because we're broke. Don't start there.
Listen,
but
I'm-
No, speak
because
for yourself.
I'm broke.
no, because y'all know we had Jeff in the building who helped us out
it
with.
It wasn't a money thing.
It wasn't a money thing, but we just wanted to get home because we all have jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I went to Walgreens, and this crackhead came up to me, and he was asking me for money, but it wasn't like a crackhead in New York. He was a very well functioning crackhead, and
Yeah.
was
He was
asking me how
polished.
my day was. And then he was asking me if I don't have money, do I have a lighter? And that's when I was like, oh, I got to go.
Those are the crackheads you gotta like really watch out for. The ones that are like can speak with dialogue and really like be sharp with it. Like, hey, how's your day
Yeah,
going?
mine's the fact that they like scratch themselves.
Did you
throughout the
eat today?
combo.
Well, yeah, I didn't either. you know, I'm thirsty. Have you had anything to drink today? Okay.
Oh, can I see it?
What can I see? Do you what did you drink? Do you have any extra? I would like to sample. Like, you got to watch out for those type of crackers that are very strategic and shit will line you up quick. Well, look, I'm about to go here to this Walgreens. Do you want to get something for me? We could, you know, go together.
Get them out of here.
You gotta watch them. I'm telling you, man. Them niggas be on some other shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely a fucking fire moment. That's when I knew it was real. I knew it was real at that point. Like, we had done a lot of good episodes, and we started to get into like a really, really good groove. And then I think from there, that's when things started to go a little different.
And for me, that just showed you how much trust that I have in you guys. I was the only girl in a car with dudes that I really didn't know traveling to Detroit.
Yeah.
That's like the scene of a horrible like massacre movie.
Yeah. But we were gentlemen. We you know.
I know. But still, as a lady, but best believe Mama Simon got your license plates and all that stuff. So.
Oh, yeah, I already figured
She
out.
already asked. She's like, what's his license plate? What's this?
You got hit with the out of state joint though.
Yeah. you got hit with the bank robbery.
Listen, we went through the easy passes though. They got them shots.
Yeah, nah, but that was fire. That was fire. All right, what was the next big moment that we had that was pretty dope?
I'm gonna have to say Maul's episode just because that's our biggest freaking episode.
Yeah.
Over 100,000 views. And the crazy thing is, like, that episode wasn't even like highly publicized by media companies. Like, you know how Joe's was picked up by like several websites? Maul's wasn't really. I just think it's off the fact of people really just wanting to know more about Maul. Yeah. And there's still people that are like learning about that podcast and still coming across it, and it's crazy. And I think it was also special for us because Maul's like Tommy. Mm-hmm. Like, no one really knows what the hell he does.
You don't know shit about him.
No one knows shit about him except when he's on Joe Budden's podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's just like for him to be comfortable enough even to open up a little bit by revealing who his brother is and just like certain things, like that was a lot for him. Yeah. And like and I'm always appreciative too because like shout out, not just Maul, but shout out to Joe, shout out to Maul, shout out to Rory, because they were one of the first people. Yeah. Parks, they were one of the first people. Even Ice. Yeah, they were one of the first people that really believed in our podcast. So that is huge for us.
Yeah, I think that was a big episode for us too, especially getting that perspective of Maul. You never really get to see Maul serious. Like he's if you know Maul and just obviously see him on the show, he's always very playful, and you get these spurts of comedic moments where you're just like, yo, this guy is fucking out of his mind. So I thought it was good, to get a more serious side of him to see that he does have layers, and he's very, he has a lot of substance to him when he's in a comfortable setting and comfortable space. So I think we did a good job with that one.
And the one thing I liked about that is, like, you guys know, like, I'm a journalist at heart, and I like to challenge people based off of what they think, their philosophies and stuff like that. And what I really appreciated was the fact that even when he was addressing his shirt about black men don't cheat, and I was trying to, like, when I was listening to what he was saying, I kind of found a loophole in what he was saying, and I was asking him about it. He didn't get offended. Like, he actually appreciated the fact that I came back with something that's intellectual. Yeah. And he actually enjoyed that conversation to the point where he was like, I like her. Yeah. I thought that was really cool because people think that Maul is a specific way, but like you said, there's so many layers to him, and I think that, like, with that conversation that we had, it just shows that he can have these very in-depth, intellectual, societal conversations that people may not usually hear anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree. What was another good one that we had?
Red and Meth. That took everything in me to control myself during that Red and Meth interview.
Well, tell us your experience, because we never really got to hear your experience about that whole shit.
Oh, Red and Meth. Oh man, first of all, Redman is just a nice. He's another genuine person.
Definitely. Shout out to Red.
Who went above and beyond for the podcast. And Method Man, the funniest thing with Wilson saying, "Yo, and what made my day, what made my life is watching Method Man sneeze in a Gucci robe." But those two dudes they're just dope. I mean, Brandon, you and I are the same age, so we, growing up listening to Wu-Tang and
I heard it's Angel.
Method Man. I mean, but it's
Yeah, but we grew up in this shit. Like, I remember when the purple tape dropped. I remember all of these things.
Like,
so I get what he's saying.
I can remember like learning Redman's verse on Def Squad when they did the Rapper's Delight over.
Yeah.
Or 4 3 2 1 and Method Man's MATHOD, man.
Yeah, don't do that impression again, but I'm rolling. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Listen. I don't got the voice. Yeah,
I know.
Clearly, I don't have the voice. But fuck that, man. Fuck all that. That's Method Man.
Yeah.
That's Red, dog.
Yeah.
Like that studio session was dope.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was little
dazed.
Yeah, I was a little dazed.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, you weren't there. Brandon and I got there earlier. Brandon and I got there earlier, and let me tell you, y'all thought How High. It's just a movie.
Oh no,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no.
That entire freaking studio
was fog.
Fog. You could literally cut it up and make a sandwich with it.
Yeah.
They had to open like 3 windows for it to go.
How you making sandwiches with fog?
Yo, but that's when you know you wasted, when you start imagining fog sandwiches.
Listen, from what I've heard, when people get high, they want to eat a lot. So that's what's the first thing that came. But I can't lie. Being in that room did affect me a little bit. I can't lie.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was sitting there towards the end of it. I was like, yo, y'all good? I didn't know what was happening. I was like, yo, y'all good?
I did ask Brandon. I was like, wait, did I ask that question correctly? Did that make sense?
There was a lot.
I was like, oh my gosh, secondhand. This is horrible.
That shit really epitomized like hip hop, like especially when you seen like if you ever seen like Backstage where it's like just mad blunts going. That's really what it's like. Like if you ever have a cliche depiction of what happens in a studio, minus the women. Well, outside of you and Brett, but minus the women. Sorry,
news alert.
Y'all are homies. Sorry, listen. Minus that really was like one of those moments where it's like, yo, damn, this is like some real rapper shit that's happening right now.
Listen, I feel like that was even way above that because like there's certain people when it comes to the pinnacle of weedness that are on a whole new level, and Redman and Method Man are up with the same with Wiz Khalifa. Like that was a whole
Snoop.
Listen, you've been in studios, I've been in studios as a rapper, and we know that stuff is around, but the extent and how much was in there, like
they was chilling.
Yo.
There was
I thought it was nostalgic though too.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah.
I mean, even and we had been planning that for those. We planned that a while ago. Like it was kind of the idea was introduced to us to Red. He was the one that was like, "Yo, we should do something great. Maybe a 420 episode." I was like, "All right, let's see." And he definitely followed through and made sure that it happened. You know, and even shout out to Meth because he was sick that day.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys saw on that episode he was sick as hell. Like, but he was still like, "Yo, I fuck with y'all energy." Like he was like, "Let's record." Like I'm with it.
Side note. Now this person that was there was very nice. Very nice, but somebody had on 3 hats. You remember that?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that was maybe in a later episode we'll delve into that bullshit. But
oh man,
still a great trip. That's another trip where we went. I'm trying to sidestep that, y'all. Goddamn.
No, I'm sorry.
Fucking that was another mini road trip. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I enjoyed from that was the business knowledge that they both had in terms of the marijuana industry. Like, for those who may be interested in getting into that, like, they're literally telling you what's happening. Yeah. Like, they're literally telling you that pharmaceutical companies are trying to push people out the way. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like, for them, like, I think that there are 2 people that could go really far in it because they did their due diligence. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I really liked about that episode is that like you got the serious side and then you got the iconic funny Red and Meth funny sides, especially when they talked about them edibles.
Although them edibles be too far, I don't fuck with edibles. One of them
you
shits
can still overdose on it though.
Yeah, but still that shit fucked me up. You gotta ride that bitch out. I tried orange juice, all kind of shit.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Ride that bitch out.
I was in my drawers in a hotel lobby off a fucking edible one time, yo.
What?
in my drawers, crying, laughing at the same time.
I was
Never
gonna
fuck
ask
with those
y'all,
again.
What was the worst weed trip that you had? Because you obviously
That
just
edible
smoked
shit.
That edible was horrible.
Edible shit. I don't fuck with them shits no more. Don't even bring that shit around me.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, y'all need. There's people out there. Go back and watch Def Jam's The Show.
Yeah, or watch Backstage.
Yeah, on Backstage.
Yep.
Def Jam's The Show really lets you know about Wu-Tang. I don't even think Red was on. I think that was just
It
Wu-Tang.
was just Wu-Tang at the time.
Wu-Tang, Biggie. Oh man, the show. Fam.
That for me, it was one of the top hip hop moments. Like, it's rare, number one, just getting them two together, especially because they're both so busy, and just who they are. You know what I mean? Like let's not forget, these are two legendary acts that are like forefathers of hip hop and just that culture. So I think having them both together, and then us and them just kind of accepting us, you know what I mean, in that space, and just chopping it up even after, because again, a lot of that, which I wish we had, but a lot of the conversations we had, like, we got to listen to a bunch of unreleased meth records and then Red records, and like just getting to get to know him for that bit of time, both of them together, seeing how they are, like it was just dope. It was a really, really dope moment.
And the people who managed the studio too, we got to know a lot more. It was nice. Like, sometimes when it comes to, like, especially when it comes to podcasts or production work, there's some issues that can happen here and there. We've had that before. We talked about it too.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, that went very smooth, and we were so excited for that, just because we know how, like you said, how hard it is for anyone to get Red and Meth together.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was just kind of like a moment where, of course, we're appreciative that Red even helped us put it together. But then it was just like, it was one of those moments for us where we're like, yo, we have something here. We have something that people really like and want to be a part of. To have notable celebs, and not even just Red, but even having like Sci-Hi the Prince and a few others to be down with being a part of our podcast. And this was like, listen, guys, this was the early stages. Like, for us to get these kind of peoples in the early stages and during the 1 year mark period and before, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
But
Huge.
honestly, like, this is a true testament to what we did individually before the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have questions about, like, how are you getting these artists? How are you getting these people? Like, how are you doing this and that?
Someone thought we were paying guests.
Yeah, some people thought we were paying guests. Like, you guys don't understand that, like, Brandon and I individually have been working in music, media, entertainment, sports for 10 plus years. And when you do right by people and you form actual genuine relationships, you can get great things can happen.
Yeah.
And that stuff with Method Man, that happened because of the great relationship you have with Red.
Yeah.
And then some of the other ones, some of the other guests, I have really great relationships with certain publicists and certain label people. So, like, at the end of the day, this is kind of like a little tidbit to help people. But, like, if you're really trying to do a podcast, if you're really trying to get into this industry, if you're really trying to do media work, like, don't believe the whole good guys finish last. That's not true. It just takes longer.
That's funny too. And at the meet and greet that we had with our fans when we went to Dave and Buster, shout out to them. But I was talking to a few people there. I think it was Nelson and somebody else's friend. I can't remember his name. Sorry, friend, if you're listening.
Joe, Nelson and Joe.
Joe, there's his name. And he said to me, yo, we've been thinking about starting a podcast, but we know it won't be as big as yours. And I said, hold on, stop right there. I said, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. The moment you think like that, the moment you make a thought where it's already taking a step back from really achieving greatness, you've already lost.
Yep.
You got to shoot for the stars. I was like, all of us as a collective, did we ever think we would even make it past the 5th episode? Like, we were planning like every day, and I was like, it's not about the quality at times. It is, I mean, quantity at times. It's about quality at times, and it's about what you put into it. I was like, we all literally wake up, eat, sleep, shit, breathe this show, and that's why it's where it's at today. So I was like, and to your point, you got to just go out there and just make friends with people. Go out there and really, really try to put forth something that makes sense, and then it'll work, and it should. You'll see the fruit of the labor.
Yeah, I don't think people, like, obviously we don't talk about it but people don't really understand entirely. Maybe some do, but some don't understand how much work really goes on behind the podcast. Like, even when we're trying to get these guests, we are on phone calls, text messages, emails, talking to 3-4 people at the same time. We were trying to find a home because our other home was messed up. You know, there's certain the Joe episode, we were actually supposed to record that in a studio, but we had to move it to his house. And like, there's things that happen, but like, if you love doing this and you love creating content, it's going to work out. At the end of the day, like he said, it's about quality content. Yeah. It's about being creative and both business-like, which a lot of people aren't able to see the business aspect of us because that's confidentiality. Yeah. But we, like he said, we literally eat, sleep, shit, breathe this. Like, we have a group text and all we talk about is grassroots stuff. Like, that's it.
Get your team together.
And the other thing too, though, you gotta put forth the energy, right?
Yep, the investments.
Especially with us, like, we're all, I think, really, and then this is the entire team, we're all really, really great at adapting. There's been plenty of times where guests is canceled, or the day would have to be moved, or audio issues, video issues,
random topics came up out of nowhere,
and we've all
best ones.
Yeah, those are the best ones. And we've all pulled together, and we just make it work. And I think we're all in sync, and I think that's why, you know. So to your point, having a solid team and a solid foundation and having like minds is where the win comes into play.
Talk about adapting, not even adopting, but maybe
adopting anybody.
Well, maybe Naz adopted this because he started randomly singing one day, and we were just like, "Yo, would be the perfect intro for episode 76," especially because he was, you know, Robert.
Girl, you're in the kitchen cooking me a meal. Something makes me want to come in there and get a feel. Walk around in your t-shirt, nothing else on. Strutting past, switching that ass while I'm on the phone. Ooh, cutting up tomatoes,
oh my gosh.
vegetables and potatoes. Girl, you look so sexy while you're doing the damn thing that I won't say.
What is happening right now?
My man Robert, that's what it is.
Yo, that was 100%.
That dirtbag.
Yo, that was a funny episode simply because, again, by that time Naz was very just in his show, and he sat in that chair one day and just started singing.
I think Brittany pointed it out and called him out.
And then Brittany looked at Naz like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?"
That was a great song, bro.
That was.
I mean, he's a dirtbag.
It was just funny. It was funny. That was probably one of my favorite episodes too, because there was so much to talk on, and then you went from defending Robert, and then all that other shit came out to next week like, "Oh nah, get him out of here. Get him clear out of here. He's wilding."
Yeah, he is. He's like Robert Kelly, the man, is a piece of shit, man. He's a complete dirtbag. Yeah. R. Kelly, the artist, is a musical genius.
Oh my gosh!
Listen, off of R. Kelly, the genius, singing his songs, and Prince, I got about 17 shower Grammys, about four car Grammys.
No, shower Grammy? That's wrong that you said that. That's so wrong you say shower Grammys for Robert. Because he was allegedly known for golden showers.
Not his story.
Fam, I was not even. You're way over there.
No, I'm rolling with Erin.
You can't say showers with Robert.
Yeah,
you can't say showers with Robert.
Shower and R. Kelly in the same sentence. You can't.
Yo, fam. How the quote Dave Chappelle, how old is 50? Like, you know if somebody's peeing on you. You could get up and walk away at any time.
Listen, bro.
I get uncomfortable when cats sneeze near me.
Yeah, well, that's different.
So you gonna let somebody, you just gonna sit there. Come on, man. 15, you know what's up.
I'm not rolling.
Yeah, like, listen, I'm not justifying what he's doing.
Maybe they just said, just go for the toe.
What?
Just pee on the toe.
Yo, fam.
Oh, my God.
Listen, don't try to, knock my damn Grammys in the shower. Who's never sung in the shower?
Pause. All right.
Hold on, I was pausing about that.
There's nothing. There's no pause. I don't want
you never sung in the shower?
No.
You's a liar.
No.
You's a liar.
I mean,
you too tough.
I play music, and I'll just be like, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't do like the heavy belting in the shower. I do in the car,
Erin,
not the shower.
I can look at you and definitely tell you sing in the shower.
No.
It's
So, but
In
then,
the
to that
car.
point, you got about 3 car Grammys, though,
No,
right?
I said in the car. No, I don't be belting Robert's songs. In the car, because I'm definitely not singing no Robert song in the shower. Let me tell you that. But I do sing in the car. I don't sing in the shower. I just listen.
I ain't gonna lie, I got mad car Grammys.
Yeah.
You can catch it on my Instagram. I got mad car Grammys. I be putting full on toys on my
Listen,
car.
I got car Grammys. I got car Emmys.
Yeah, no.
Like-
I do everything. I do sound effects of the records and everything when I try.
You know how many talk show Emmys I got in that car, man?
Yeah, it's major. I ain't
Talking to
gonna lie.
myself.
Concert every morning in my car. It goes down.
But another thing too that why I really liked episode 76 and even like episodes after is that I feel like I know that's when we started opening up more, because I think what I guess people don't quite understand is because we all have our own jobs and we still some of us work in the industry. We had to open, but to a certain extent. Like we couldn't be too wild, but we understood there had to be some. And I know for me, like at that time, I was looking for a job, so I was very and not even that. Like I'm a very private person. Like if you're not my friend, I don't really show that much personality, and I can come off as like standoffish or sometimes a bitch.
Yeah?
But I'm not.
You can't. Oh, I never noticed.
Oh, listen. You earn that. You earn that from your mismatched outfits.
Let me tell you,
Ain't no, I
Hold
don't
on,
just
E.
be that way. Calling me Blossom and stuff. Listen, what people don't understand is I'm not mean to Nas. He be throwing slick jabs before we freaking record, and then acts like on the podcast, oh, why?
Hold on,
Why are you going for
E.
me?
Hold on.
This
The
mofo is
do you remember
lying.
the first day I met E? She goes, "Oh, Brandon, does your whole crew have baldies and beards?"
Yeah, that was a wild shot. That was a wild shot.
What do you want me? Listen, if every single person I've met from Brandon is bald and has a beard, I'm gonna ask that question.
She dead ass asked that question twice though. We went to where were we? I can't remember where.
Well, no, I asked and then you kind of laughed it off. You didn't answer, so I had to ask it a second time. Because
maybe he didn't hear me.
it was because the first time was when we went over to Joe's and there were several people. Or maybe it was before that in the studio.
The pool party.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
When we went to his Joe's pool party.
So Erin's so cute. She came over, was like, "Yo, let me ask you a question. Is everyone bald?" And I said,
Yo, dead ass everyone at the pool party was bald and had
That was
a
the
beard.
membership.
Mind you, I'm 2 drinks in, so I'm looking at Erin like, "Nigga, what? What are you talking about?" She's like,
Yo,
"No, it's-"
Britt, do you know what I'm talking about?
She's like,
you
"No."
know what I'm talking about. Because every fucking person at that pool party was bald and had a beard. And I
Yeah,
was
but
just like, is this
the-
like some secret society shit?
But
like,
it was so funny because you were so discreet about it. He's like, "No, I'm saying you guys have beards and you're all bald."
Oh no, Britt does it too.
Like, I'm trying to understand. Yeah, Britt been through.
Yo, when I shaved my head for the second time,
Britt
and
been
Britt
throwing
just
shade.
noticed, she goes, "So are you gonna do this every week? Are you gonna do this? Is this every week you're gonna do?"
well, he definitely did it this week. Y'all can't see it, but his head's looking mad crispy right now.
Yo, I ain't gonna
Clarissa.
lie. If we giving out awards, Britt got to be Sniper of the Year. I ain't gonna lie. Between Britt and Erin, Sniper of the Year.
No. Britt gets number one. Britt gets number one because at least with me, in certain circumstances, you can expect it. Her,
Yeah,
you
Britt-
don't
yeah,
know when
yeah.
it's
Yo,
coming.
was that
Britt be
T-Pain song she got me on?
Yeah. What was the shit that she said?
Wisconsin or something like
yeah,
that?
she was like, "That's not how it goes."
No, with the serious face.
With the dumb serious.
Out of
face.
nowhere. No, that's not. Those are definitely not the lyrics.
But listen,
where'd
Chris,
that shot come
Chris is
from?
runner up though, because he's
learning.
Chris,
Yeah.
but Crispy doing it, and he says it in such a nice voice that you're just like, wait, was that shade?
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, because Chris is mad, like nice and smart and shit, and he'll be like, "Yeah, Brandon, I think you should do more research. That really wasn't what happened. But go ahead and carry on." Like he's one of those smart people that make you feel stupid like that.
Is that the answer you're gonna get?
Is that really what
It's like
you're
a
gonna
double
go
check moment. Like what?
with? Word.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh,
So
man.
what's another moment? What's another moment you guys think? What would you say was one of our real breakout moments?
There's been several, honestly. Well,
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm trying to think.
I mean, in terms of like mass media grabbing a hold, like
Yeah.
before we even get to that, shout out to DJ Booth for being the first media company to cover us.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out to them, the first major media company, because they didn't have to do that, but it was awesome.
Word.
I'm gonna say the Sci-Hi one, just because that, like, the Sci-Hi one was crazy, because I don't think we realized how much of a gem we had in the last part of the podcast until everyone started picking it up. Because when we're in the midst of having a conversation, I don't think like we're really focusing entirely. We're focusing partially on what they're saying, partially on what we want to ask. And that was in the beginning stage where we were trying to like get our gel together and kind of figure out what the plan is. And for his episode to basically set the course for the 7 concept project.
Yeah.
For that to be what kind of triggered it, our episode for that, and then everyone, including Billboard, covering it, like that was
that was big.
wild.
That was
I got a project I'm doing with Ye that's all produced by him. He's doing that for every artist on the label. So Sean got one that's gonna be exactly produced by him. Push's next album is strictly produced by him. Tiana's strictly. So Kid Cudi's strictly.
Nice.
Man,
it's big when I really think about it.
That was
But
huge.
even if you remember, we were kind of in a fog that interview, and then when he said that, it was like, wait, you just said what? Like that's happening? And then we didn't really, to your point, we didn't really think it would have. We didn't think anything of it. We thought it was good content. It's like, oh shit, this is fire. And then when we pressed it up and put it out, and everyone, we woke up to all these notifications and all these. I'm like, oh wow, this is a thing. This is okay. All right, this is fire.
Yeah, I remember the last company I worked for, but I ain't gonna say their names and give them clout. But
Damn.
sorry, I'm not. I didn't really have a great experience there, so I'm not gonna say their names.
Oh man.
And I can say that now for various reasons. But
Mad corporate.
Word.
you gotta be a little bit PC, but not. Lyrics should told you that.
Yeah.
But when I worked there, it was just crazy how like some of my coworkers and the coworkers that I had, some of them, well, no, majority of them really cool. I had like they're dope. They've always been supportive of our podcast.
Yeah.
But they basically we were doing some media work, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Yo, Kanye's gonna do he's gonna do everyone's good music projects and albums," and then they were like, "Wait, holy shit, is this Erin?" And I was just like, yeah.
Got that blue check for a reason on Instagram.
Word.
I mean, there was very good reason why I was so giddy. Just like I said, because of my experience, it wasn't the greatest experience ever, and I can admit I hated working there. But to be able to have people at the job like even know what not even just know, but like grab interest and take to it because of that was massive.
Yeah. I think for me, I say it a lot. I've been such a huge Sci-Hi fan. I felt like he's been underrated for so long. So to get that kind of opportunity, I'm like, hell yeah, we doing this shit. Let's kill this. And then to have, obviously the conversation with him on camera, and then I like the fact that off camera I was able to keep it a buck with him, like just about him. Like I was able to talk about him and I probably said some things that most people wouldn't say upon meeting an artist on first time. But I'm just that I'm keep it a buck.
I feel like that applies to everyone we meet.
Yeah,
We're very upfront, respectfully honest.
Respectfully honest. But I kept it a buck with him, and he liked the feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, and then he didn't even have to explain himself off camera the way that he did about just him and a lot of the things that he had gone through and why he was in this place of now feeling like this was his time versus when, in my opinion, his time it came. Between the team backpack freestyles and between all these other things that he was doing, I'm like, yo, you're dropping the ball. So it was dope. It was dope to meet him and to be able to have those conversations with him. Yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out to some people who've been supporting our podcast from the PR standpoint. The people who brought Sci-Hi was AKWPR.
Definitely.
They helped bring him. They are still helping bring us guests. So shout out to them. They were one of the first PR. Shout out to Audible Treats too. My homegirl Michelle over there, where we were talking to her about bringing some people. Shout out to Rock Nation. Shout out to Def Jam. Who else? Am I missing someone?
Shout out to our friends that just believe in the content.
Shout out to all the
Word.
best. There's a few other publicists. Oh, Shy Ferguson from 300
Yeah,
Entertainment.
yeah,
Shout out to
definitely Shy.
her.
Definitely Shy.
You know, sorry, and if we forget names, I'm so sorry, but I just
Yeah.
want to shout out to everyone who was there, who believed in us, even when we weren't even
the
like
rip.
from the rip, even when we had one camera shot angles, they were still like, listen, we think it's dope, and they saw the potential in it. And I think for us, it's like, we understood what we were getting into. We understand that, like, when we created the podcast, we were the underdogs. But to have a lot of people that saw the great potential and saw the great content and saw us elevating with each episode, and they didn't have to give us these acts. They didn't have to come. And people don't realize we record some episodes at nighttime. So to go through a whole press run day and then to have your artist come in late at night to do an episode with us, that's tremendous.
Yeah,
So I before we even continue forward or even end this, I just wanted to just give a shout out to certain people that have been super, super supportive of our podcast.
And still to this day.
And still to this, yes,
Still to this
exactly.
day.
Still to this day.
There's a lot of people that have from the beginning
all the
supported
guests
us.
we've had,
The guests,
the publicists, the labels.
and again, they're not even guests; they're family at this point.
Yeah.
Like, they check in on us, make sure
They're
we're
all
good.
family.
Like, they, you know what I mean. So it's dope to have that kind of chemistry, and again, for it to be homegrown with everyone in this room, us just starting
Yeah.
and just picking up and doing something. I just feel like that's so fire.
Mentos thumb.
Oh my gosh, yo! But I mean, before we go on, because we're gonna go on to honorable mentions. Brandon, I wanted us to kind of like talk about, because like, you know, Nas was there a little bit in the beginning, but there was one point where it was just like us and like maybe two other people that were really getting this together.
Those were the dark times.
Oh my gosh,
Those
y'all
were
don't understand.
Those were the dark times. Having to stop recording, go hit
Yeah.
the camera, stop the audio, rewind it back, edit out a part.
Those things are character builders.
Listen,
Okay?
yeah,
Listen,
character
yeah.
my ass. That built a character of evil.
That's character building.
Those are some dark. People really don't know, yo. Those are some dark times, man.
We would stay up late,
Lord.
like fixing things,
At like
and
2, 3 in the morning, me and
Yeah.
Erin be bouncing back and forth. Like, yo, I'm still working on it. She's like, all right, I'm trying to figure this out too. Like, we would just be trying to go through so much, yo. And
Yep. But shout out to Jeff. Jeff is also part of the grassroots team.
Definitely.
He's
Detroit Jeff.
over in Michigan, so you don't see him as much. You guys will see him later on. That's all I would say. But he really was like a lifesaver. Before Brittany came, he was the one that put the video clips together.
and Johnny.
And oh
Big
yes, and
Weekend.
Johnny.
Big
Johnny
Weekend.
helped with photos. And then engineer
Pat.
Pat
Yeah,
was
Pat's
a
a good guy.
lifesaver.
Pat is a lifesaver.
Pat was a lifesaver in terms of audio. Before we got our shit together,
Yeah, Pat
like,
would,
Yeah,
would
Pat used to
go
put
in
in
and
work.
Pat was
put
going
work.
in.
And Parks helped out too a
Yes.
few times where I didn't know what the hell I was doing trying to edit this shit, and they would just be like, no, B, this is what
Yeah.
you got to do. Like, you got to fix it up a little
yeah,
bit. And
big props to all of them, because honestly, like, part of the reason why we are where we are is because of the help and support that they gave us. And like
Definitely.
you said, everyone that's been a part of our podcast, whether you're a guest, whether you helped bring people on, whether you're part of the team at one point or not, or you're all are part of the grassroots family, including the supporters, because we would not be where we are without you guys.
Definitely,
You know,
definitely.
we could have got to a certain point, but having everyone on board took us to another level.
Yeah.
So we also got to shout out Regular Naz, you matching today. We gotta shout out Chris. Chris is the one that helps us with the timestamps and all the things that I don't have time to do. And I'm like, yo, Chris, go and do this, please. Help me.
Chris the accountant.
Brittany with the video. Also, PJ comes in now and then with the video. Then we also got Kyle, who helps us with the photography. Jeff is helping us with the merchandise. And then Wilson, when he's not on vacation, is here to provide some perspective.
My
and
brother's always
insights.
on vacation.
He's always on vacation.
And then bam, for all of you guys who don't know, the YouTube covers, the graphics, some of the motion graphics or the titles or the facts, the fun facts that Britt puts in, that's from our homeboy Bam, who lives in Philly. And he really helps us. Like, we have a team, but it's not only a team, it's a family.
Takes a village.
It takes a village. Like, no, it does. It really does.
It does.
Brandon and I were only able to get to a certain part, but it really took for us to find this team to really take things to the next level.
Definitely.
Word. Shout out to Brandon and Erin. That's it.
You asshole.
Oh man.
That is it.
Oh, man.
All right. What's honorable mentions? What we doing?
Oh my
You
God.
tell
is it
us.
common?
No, it's not an honorable mention.
Oh, well, yeah. When that girl thought he was common, that might not have been a podcast honorable mention, but that was definitely a solid moment, honorable mention.
That's a solid grassroots movement.
we didn't talk about that in pre-production, so let's just skate right on over that. Thanks, guys.
Oh, she stood there, too. It looked like, yo, that's common.
Yeah, she dead ass with. That was
Okay.
a good stinger on her part.
For the listeners, if there's a gap in the audio, you'll know why. So it's fine. I think we got a lot of praise for the our coverage on the Drake and Pusha
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Why do you think that was, though?
I think with us, well, and it's not even just with that episode. I think that was kind of like a turning point for us too, because that was when we were on the cusp of being both informative and a little more entertaining. I know that like we were at one point, I wouldn't say afraid, but we were cautious about how charismatic we were in terms of episodes, just because like we don't want our jobs to get upset with us or anything like that, and we're not in positions with certain jobs to be able to do things like that. But I think that the fact that we did our homework and provided different insight. You know, we all love music and we all love hip hop at the end of the day, but we all look at hip hop and look at beefs and look at albums in different ways. And I think that's what sets us apart, is that we all look at it in different perspectives. Like even beyond just that one, like, well, no, with that one, you broke down the feud, you broke down the beef since like the beginning, and a lot of people didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
And
Mr.
then
Me Too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then when there was when I started to see some Greek mythology, like I'm a nerd at heart, so I took a class and all that stuff, and to see that and then to break that down, that's another thing that people didn't know about. And then Naz, like when you trickle in old school info and knowledge that people may not know, like I think we balance each other out, or all of us provide a unique perspective. And I think that's why people like the emergency episode, and the fact that we were able to turn around that quickly. I don't think there's that many podcasts that do that.
Yeah, it was a gamble for us. You know what I mean? We talked about, you know, the fans kept asking us, "Hey, are you gonna cover it? Are you gonna cover it?" And we're like, "Yo, we're gonna."
It's not on a Tuesday or
Yeah,
Thursday.
like how are we gonna turn around this fucking audio and this episode this quickly to where it will make sense and be listenable? And we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. So. I'm happy about that too. We need to do more emergency episodes when it matters.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing is like a lot of crazy stuff has been happening like right before we record, so we've been very fortunate and lucky, or happened when we recorded, which kind of happened since we shifted the days that we record. But the one thing I really liked about the emergency episode is just that, you know, that audio quality wasn't the best compared to our other episodes, but the fact that like we just were more focused on making sure that the content was of substance and had super value. I think people realized, like, you know, they really care about this. And not to say that they didn't think that before, but I think that, like, that emergency episode really showed that we're in it for the long run with this podcast. Like, we really care. Like, the fact that we literally the same day went and recorded this, or even, like, the day after recorded this and put it up, I think that's, like, a testament to what we're trying to do, and that's literally like grassroots at its core.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, and I think again we were one of the first people that really did the emergency episode and then broke it down so quickly and so efficiently. Where you know it,
And then you got scumbags who steal our stuff
yeah,
and label it.
Well, you know,
Shout out to the scumbags.
But they're starting to come around a little bit too. They're coming around a little bit, which I think is interesting.
Because they don't have a team. They don't have a Brandon. They don't have an Erin. They don't have a Britt. They don't have a PJ. They don't have the accountant Chris.
Yeah.
They don't have a Bam. They don't have Detroit Jeff. You are an accountant, Chris. The way I tell it,
In
you're
my
an accountant.
story.
In our story.
All right, they don't have those people,
Yeah.
so they suck.
Oh my god, yo.
What? What you want me to say?
Yo, Naz, you on your Dame Dash tip
Word.
right now. You're like,
Yeah,
fuck
they don't
outta
have.
here.
They don't have team. They don't have a team.
Yeah.
They don't have it.
They have a team, but it's just probably
Their team is weak.
Okay.
Their team. Who did the Harlem Globetrotters play?
I don't know.
Who's that team that they play? That they beat up on all the time.
I don't know. That's a really old reference. So
It's the Harlem Globetrotters. Who doesn't know the Harlem Globetrotters?
no, you just
Either way, they suck.
okay.
They're the Cleveland Cavaliers right after LeBron left when they had that 0-29 streak.
Yo, who stole your lunch
Yeah,
today?
you're still in your feelings, right? I'm trying to understand what's
You know why?
happening.
Yo.
Because I believe in grassroots.
Okay. Well,
That's
you,
why.
you should, or
Because we're dope.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, he's a hype man.
I'm sorry, I went somewhere.
Yeah, do you want to take a smoke break? You don't even smoke. Is all right? You all right? You good?
Yeah, nah, man. I'm just,
You went. All right, talk your shit. I'm rolling. Talk your shit.
No, some people out there, they're scumbags, man.
Yeah.
They steal our stuff and then they try to pass it off as their own.
Yeah.
They don't have what we have. They're not cut from the same cloth. These guys are like polyester.
Yeah.
We're more silk, Egyptian silk. Yeah.
Well, the
Ostrich skin.
The funny thing about that, because low key, you sound like me. You sound like me ranting to Erin over here.
Yep.
And Erin said something to me that resonated. And she said, "That's okay if they steal it. It's how do you keep up with it?"
They can't.
But that's the thing I've learned
Yeah.
is that you can steal content left and right, but what happens when you evolve? Because we've constantly evolved, we've constantly grown.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
And we keep doing it. It's only but for so long you can keep stealing content and doing things like that.
And then also, like, people have to realize that what makes great content when it has multiple people is great chemistry.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that. Like, and
Because they're lame.
But but it's not even about that. It's the fact that, like, we all understand what our goals are. We're all on the same page. But on top of that, we all like each other, and we all feed off of each other. That's hard. Like, I've seen people who like each other and are cool with each other, but just like the on camera and audio chemistry, like they don't know how to work off of each other with, questions or comments or segments. Like people don't realize that we plan it ahead what we're going to talk about, but we literally go off of each other and adapt in the podcast and go off of and figure out funny parts and all that and joke with each other. Like that, you can't do that if you don't have that chemistry.
No.
Like what makes great talk shows, what makes great podcasts, what makes great video content is not only the substance of it, but it's the chemistry that the hosts have. If you can tell that the hosts don't like each other, or there is like someone is just fucking shit up or is horrible, whatever, you can tell.
Definitely.
And I think that like we have great chemistry because we're friends with each other, but I think that part of it is that we had to learn and get through it. Like, there have been plenty of times that people said we're boring. There have been plenty of times that people said we're whack. There have been plenty of times. And we found ways to adjust. And we're like, okay, people are saying this. How can we make this better? And we've been improving. But the thing is, even though we've been improving, we've still stayed who we are. And we didn't pretend to be anyone else. We're not pretending. When we're joking stuff, we're not pretending. That's how we are. We're just showing more of ourselves. But we're never going to be over exaggerate or act a certain way that we don't act like in regular life.
I feel like you're Joe Clark speaking to Sam's right now when he's
First of all, don't ever compare me to Sam's. Don't you ever in your life compare me to Sam's.
I'm just being honest. I feel like she really had to talk you off the ledge because you were spiraling.
What
You were
the?
spiraling fast. Here we go.
You know what? You know what it is?
Here we go.
You know what it is, man?
Anytime a nigga grab his jeans to sit up, you know it's about to be an intense
You know what it is?
conversation.
Erin so eloquently
pulled it
put it, and she articulated what I'm feeling. But I just want to say it like this, man. We're dope.
Okay.
And our podcast, Go back. I want you to look at every single podcast that we've done, that we've taken time out and researched all these artists, and we've researched everything that we've been talking about. Some shit that I got wrong. I'm not gonna lie, but
It happens.
It happens. But for the most part, other people's podcasts, they don't have it like we have it. They don't have a dope ass director that's gonna come up like Britt. They don't have Bam. Like I keep saying it over and over because I believe in it and I believe in us so much that these other podcasts, they're just doing the same thing over and over and they're regurgitating the same thing over and over. Oh, what do you think about this? Oh, what do you think about that? Oh, who gives a fuck? You're not talking about anything.
Yeah.
You're not going into detail. We're cut from a different type of cloth, man.
I agree.
And these cats they're starting to understand it. And I'm sorry for not coming Saturday too, but I have a regular life.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what's happening?
Yeah,
with
you know, because you know what? I was thinking about Dave. I was thinking about Dave and Buster's and me not being
now
there.
You're talking about Dave and Buster's
but nobody
after coming Saturday. I don't know what's going on with you right now, but
that sounded real crazy. But nobody was checking for Regular Naz there, so it's all right.
No, they were asking.
No, they actually did. You got some explaining to do.
Fam. But I'm just saying, like, where we're going and what we're prepared to do. You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
You trying to kill somebody?
Fam. Right now?
All right, forget it, man. I can't even ask legitimate questions around here no more.
Yeah,
Not
man.
with that T-shirt.
Fam, first of all.
No, that's
The Golden Girls. That's why I say you ain't gonna kill nobody with that T-shirt. That's a classic T-shirt.
Yeah.
This is Sex in the City before it was Sex in the City.
Look,
This is
I know about Golden Girls, but I'm
Blanche E.
saying
Devereaux. Her name spells bed.
All right, yeah.
Her name spells bed.
right.
Blanche's name, her initials spell bed. Regardless, I just want to say that we're dope.
Okay.
That's it. I keep the accountant is looking at me because I gotta wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up then.
how about that?
How about that?
Hey, man.
What you gotta say, Brandon?
Yeah,
I said my little spiel. He said his little spiel. What's your little spiel before we go into the next honorable mention?
Nah, I'm cool with spills. I'm you know what? I've learned to just be quiet and just work and just create.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Oh, really?
That's where I'm at.
Oh, really?
I talk my shit to y'all. I do. I talk my shit. I talk my shit to y'all, but to the you know, I want the content to speak, and I think that it's speaking, and that's all I want.
Oh yeah.
That's all I want. I think the people see it. People see it, and the people that matter see it, and that's not even because they're our supporters. It's just that they get it, and then once they get it, everything else is great. For me, the thing that's important though, and I say this a lot, is when we have big acts on, big influential people, they're happy. Like every single last one of our guests, even if we felt, because we're very critical of ourselves, how the audio sounds or how we shot it or the questions that we asked. Mm-hmm. The guests always come back like, yo, that was probably the best interview I've had in quite some time. Mm-hmm. Or they often come back and just say, yo, you guys are really really cool. For me, that was one of the goals for the show. And it was always to have a safe place.
Yeah.
It was always to
a safe place to be uncomfortable.
To be uncomfortable and be open and honest.
That is such a millennial thing to say.
It's true though. Mm-hmm. It's true. And that was the one thing that me and you often talked about early on was how do we create this space where people they'll feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Where they won't feel attacked and we can just have a conversation, have some dialogue. So that's it. I already know we have a lot planned. We have a lot in the chamber, and I won't talk my shit till we need to talk our shit.
I'll talk instead.
All right,
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, son. All right, you ain't gotta go in the ring yet.
Yeah,
My fault.
We ain't there yet.
And I was
but
at a wedding.
I
Saturday.
agree.
All right, last moment. What are we looking at?
We gotta go with this one, considering we've started to do it a lot more. The whiteboard episode.
The classic whiteboard episode.
The breakdown. That was the beef episode. That was breaking down of the beef. The long rectangular.
Do we want to talk about how the board looked and how y'all thought I was crazy until y'all started reading it?
Did we post a photo of it or something?
The black
we
dynamite.
definitely have a
board.
photo of it.
I think we have a
Yeah.
The accountant has it. That's why he's the accountant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have a photo of it. We have a
Because
photo of it.
accountants hold photos. Okay. All right. Let's get back on track. All right. So, another honorable mention, the whiteboard episode. Just because that was the first time that we actually used a whiteboard, and now we still use whiteboards, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Exclusive. Well, I don't know if it's really exclusive.
Worldwide, wide.
Brandon's old black dynamite ass, breaking it down on the whiteboard.
I'm big on writing down your shit, man. I'm big on the whiteboards. It helps though. It helps keep us on track. Keep it above.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Because I go off.
Oh, well, no.
Well, we've experienced that within these past 20 minutes that we've been recording, so we're aware of that. But yeah, I think everyone should use whiteboards. I'm big on mind mapping and shit like that. I'm big on strategically planning out, and you got to visually see it.
Yeah. I mean, I keep my notes. You guys know where I keep my notes.
Yeah.
It should be obvious to the viewers where I keep my notes too. But
yeah, basically.
hint, my cell phone. But yeah, what I really liked about that episode, and it wasn't even just about the content and the context. I think our preparation level for podcasts was elevated from that level, from that episode moving forward.
Yeah.
We do a lot of preparation, like, and I don't think people understand is like, we don't just prepare the day before, like we prepare days, plural, in advance. Like we literally have a group chat and we get our topics together in that group chat and determine everything else in that group chat. And shout out to Chris keeping us on track and keeping notes of what we're saying, because sometimes we be throwing in some random videos like I did yesterday. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, don't ever send that to the group chat. I meant to tell you, don't ever send that.
Well,
shit
you
again.
know what? Tell men to stop posting some crazy ass stuff on Instagram.
How is that a man's fault though?
It was a man that posted it. So what am I
Did she
supposed
hold
to
on?
say?
But did she not stand in front of the camera?
That listen, I don't.
But
I don't
it came up on my news feed.
come on, man.
What do you want me to do?
Fam.
I don't see no women's posting that.
Listen, just,
First-
No women's post them.
I almost
okay.
I almost blocked you out of.
No women's.
I almost kicked you out of the group chat. I ain't gonna lie. I opened up the text like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Yo, she was
Listen,
getting
I
into
had
it.
to experience that with you guys because I didn't know what I didn't know how to feel.
Keep that to yourself. I'm cool.
No.
Keep
No, you can
So-
send that.
For what he talks about, yes, I could send.
What happened, man?
Yeah, you nasty. You nasty. Nasty Naz.
I'm not nasty.
Nasty, no.
No,
That's
that's
a
nasty.
t-shirt worthy.
Would you do it?
For those who don't know, we sent this interesting video.
You would do it, you nasty.
Oh my god.
You nasty.
Basically, I can't say to the extent of what I sent, but basically it was this bodybuilder woman, and let's just say she was doing some weird stuff. XNXX.
Yo, you nasty.
If I was still drinking,
Nah, you. All right. Well, come on.
Oh my
You
gosh.
nasty.
Anyway, aside from our group chat, sometimes wilding out, which is every day.
looking at me.
I'm judging you. I'm judging the shit out of you right now. You nasty.
You nasty
Yo,
boy.
you're nasty, yo.
That's not a judgment, bro.
I'm judging you. I don't even be judging people like you're
No,
nasty.
just
yo.
no. Just,
you're nasty.
Listen,
dog.
he's all
You're
right.
nasty.
No golden showers though. He's all right.
Nah.
He's all right.
Fair. You guys are terrible.
No, you're terrible. You're terrible, dog.
Maybe mad uncomfortable. I feel like Brian thinks you feel though. No respect.
All right, Golden Girls shirt guy. All right, let's go back in track. Okay, so whiteboard.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do a whiteboard that episode? Specifically that episode compared to every other episode that we had to do stuff for.
Because I have ADHD and I'll forget my points. No, honestly, because there was a lot to digest that episode. I felt like we'd seen a lot of media platforms cover it, and I just felt like they were doing a lot of the surface stuff and missed so many great points, or maybe didn't realize that they had missed stuff. Without this whole beef, everyone was lost on how it started. So I was like, all right, let me try to get this together.
Maybe they didn't know because they're vultures.
Could well no, no they could.
Why?
I think they know.
Yeah, what was in your tea today?
I had a few Red Bulls.
Clearly,
I had a few
especially now.
that summer Red Bulls.
They do not give you wings.
Yeah. So I mean that was the point though. I wanted to make sure that people were aware of what was happening, where the origin started, and why it was important to tie all of these things, these events together, because it mattered. to the build up to this monumental letdown. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What do you want to say, Naz? It looks like you're really holding something
I don't want
inside.
Naz to say
It looks
anything
like
else. I don't want him to say anything else.
It looks like you're really holding something inside.
Between his 20-minute rant, now he fantasizing about that shit that you put in the group chat. I don't want to hear Naz say nothing else, yo. You're sick. You need help.
That's all. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not nice.
I mean, y'all knew what that one website was. I didn't even know. What was that website again?
Yo, man, y'all not going to sit there and just like
Tell me,
dump
Naz.
everything on me. Like,
Oh no, you're wearing this one, my friend. Oh no.
mad judgment, man.
Listen, whatever. But I guess to the fans, let us know what you guys think. What are your favorite moments? What are some things that stood out to you? Where did we suck? Pause. And where did we start to turn?
Wait a minute.
I paused that. Let's be clear. I paused that. Nah, but I paused that.
Where do we suck?
But hold on, I didn't say it like that with the list. Don't do that. Don't do that. I didn't put no list on. Don't do that.
Where do we suck?
All right, hey fam, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. He
is feeling it today.
Nah, let us know what y'all think. Tell us your favorite moments. Tell us your favorite guests. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? And that's it. I'm tired. I'm ready to clock out.
Word, then close it out then.
Wrap it up then.
Wrap it up, man.
How about that? Go ahead.
Check us out. Grassroots Pod, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Pretty much all streaming sites at this point, except for Spotify and someplace else. And then also, as always, in YouTube, you'll see why y'all laughing.
I was yawning.
Y'all laughing at me and shit. As always, YouTube, check the link in the description. Still have the merch link that will be there, as well as the group me chat you can join. Especially for the group me chat, all those people that came out this past weekend, thanks for hanging out with us. We had a really, really, really good time. I drank way too much that night, but we had a really, really good time. Yeah, we had a really, really good time. So shout out to y'all. We'll definitely do it again. There's gonna be some more events and some stuff coming up. We can't share just yet.
Give us a month.
But give us a month or so, and we got some big things coming that I'm sure you guys will be excited about. You've been asking for it, so and it's on the way. So that said, I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm the Black Marty Jannetty. Oh, sorry, my fault. Regular Naz.
We're fucking out. All right, bye. I gotta go.
Bye.
Grassroots.